Why I advocate the Zeitgeist movement. 1. Invention is slow in a monetary system. The monetary system's invention of intellectual property slows things down. It's self-centered to suggest you own a design of anything. Claiming you own a design for something is like claiming you own mathematics. In a world where there's no intellectual property, an invention's blueprints is made available online so upgrades can be added to it by other people. This would make improvement in our quality of life constant. 2. Employment is cruel. If you think the repetitive labor that's demanded by the monetary system is good for you, then you fooled yourself into thinking that torturing yourself is a good thing. The repetitive labor does not expand the mind at all. It reduces it to the function of pressing a red button when you see a cardboard box in a yellow zone. Since we aren't machines, machines would be better at doing machine-like tasks such as the one that was just described. 3. Values. Here are some of our current values: money, property, employment, promotion, inefficient use of resources. We do value our friends and family, but elements of our core values contradict valuing each other. In other words, you can't respect people while being highly competitive for money. The values of an RBA would be as follows: people, efficient technology, efficient use of resources, open source, sharing items or temporary property. Although there are a finite number of resources on the planet, if we are efficient, recycle, and share to such a degree you can create abundance. Example, people don't need to own cars, they need access to efficient transportation for temporary use. Car companies will suggest otherwise, they claim you need to own and love a car. 4. The scientific method. If people follow the scientific method, then everyone is getting their insight from the same universe. This is a good thing because there will always be a consistent logical frame of reference to work off of. People should trust the scientific method because we simply cannot imagine how our whole universe works and expect to be right. For example, 1 plus 1 should equal 2, for everyone in the whole world. If a person comes to a different answer, and promotes that a logic, the person should consider correcting their position because promoting a logic is damaging, and to come to an answer other than 2 wouldn't have used logic. There's nothing wrong with being uniform to logic. Who wants to live in an insane world? People should always be open to reconfirming their perspective of truth, based on the most effective methods of extracting truth. For example, it's commonplace to use a calculator to do a large sum, than to simply guess the right answer. The motto of a society based on science would be, when it comes to the fundamentals for survival, opinions are useless. 5. Inequality. Inequality and violence is built into the monetary system. Money is valuable due to its scarcity in an economy. If more money is loaned into an economy, then corporations will raise their prices, hence the inflation effect. So you always have a condition where people are fighting for money, and some people can't get enough money so they'll be poor, as well as some resorting to violence to get what they need to live. A rich person doesn't rob a place to get what they need to live. Inequality is so greatly built into this economic structure, that it causes whole countries to become poor. This is cruel, and to attempt to justify this cruelty is cruel. Cruelty is a sickness that comes from unloving environments. We need a system that provides goods and services to people without a price tag. Why? Because people would appreciate the kindness that they would be getting from such a system, and they would be less likely to steal, hoard, or show offensive behavior. People would have peace of mind knowing they can always get the goods and services they need to live, when they require them, not when they have enough money to buy them. Why would you want to rent out 5 boats for free when you can only use 1 at a time? It becomes useless owning items like houses and vehicles, when you're in a society that provides you free rent of them. And I can't cover everything, but those are some reasons why I advocate TZM. If you got something out of watching this, I am happy I didn't waste your time. Go to thezeitgeistmovement.com for more information. If you want to discuss concerns you have, there's a forum on the site. Please don't insult people on the forum. Insulting people makes the world into a shithouse place to live. What you don't know can be more important than what you know. You just have to know how to obtain the insight you are missing.